Hello fellow humans and welcome to the WZ114, a new tank that is sold in crates, which is always disappointing. So let's have a look at the stats of this vehicle and then let's play it. And it is obviously in crates and therefore you should obviously not buy it. Now let's have a look. It does have 470 alpha damage, which is present. The penetration is present. The gun is, well, aim time and accuracy is pretty solid for 470 alpha damage, so you've got to give it that. It also has 9 degrees of gun depression, which is quite unusual for a Chinese vehicle. For example, the 111-14 only has 5 degrees. It's a lot less accurate, so this thing does have pretty good accuracy. The DPM, though, is pretty bad. It's worse than that of a KPZ, and that thing has 560 alpha damage. Then the mobility on this thing is a absolute and utter joke. I don't know what engine they were using or what kind of sake they were drinking before they designed this thing. I know it's not Japanese. But this engine is absolutely horrible and it makes it turn miserable as well. 21 traverse speed. The mobility on this thing is really, really abysmal. And you can see a lot of green here in the other vehicles. So would you really want to pay for this? Would you want to pay for slightly better accuracy but then worse at everything else? Let's look at the armor in this vehicle, and the lower plate is massive, and the weak spot, it has a huge cupola that you can't hide even when you're using a full 9 degrees of gun depression. However, the upper plate is pretty much impenetrable, and so is the rest of the turret, so that is good. It also has this extra side plate here, so shooting at the side might be quite painful. And you have these skirts here, so don't ever try to shoot heat at the side of the vehicle. Ideally, try to shoot it in the side of the turret if you can. So just keep that in mind. So, is it anything unusual or outstanding? It's got solid armor, the mobility is horrible, the DPM is quite bad, it's accurate though, and it's got 9 degrees of gun depression. So, let's now go over to a accurate representation. And to help you understand how crates really work, let's imagine this. So this is you. This right here is you. And this is your hard-earned money. Now, I'm going to play wargaming in this situation. So what is going to happen here is I'm going to do that and that. And then I have that. That's how crates work. So now let's get into a battle with this vehicle. Now, obviously, the more expensive and the harder to obtain a vehicle is, the more shit it's going to get from me. Because why the hell would you spend probably, I would assume, somewhere around 200 euros on a vehicle in crates that isn't better than like an E75 or a 111-4 or whatever? Like, why in anyone's right mind would you want this vehicle? It's average. That's what it does. So, to buy this, especially if it's in crates, would be a very, very horrible idea. And I don't know what kind of opium you would have to be on to consciously make that decision. But anyway, so don't buy this tank, okay? It's in crates. Crates are always bad, no matter what. Crates are always bad. They're designed to be bad. There are great other offers in the shop sometimes that you can get. Like the T34i6 Loewe bundle. That's a good one. This is an absolute and utter joke. Because it will be overpriced. It's in crates. I don't exactly know the price of the crates right now because obviously I'm making this before it's released because Daddy Wargaming give me an account. So thank you for that. But anyway. So at this point, you have a vehicle that is not worthy of more than, like, let's say 8k gold. And you could have bought some tier 9 premium tanks for that price in the auction, right? So that is a realistic price here that I'm making. So that's something outrageous. I'm not going to talk about this tank because it's obviously, there's nothing worth talking about with this vehicle. It's a, what if a 111-14 and an E75 fucked? So there's no point, really. It does work. It can be a good tank, right? But I don't review things just off one thing. You gotta look at the bigger picture here, right? Because if you just look at the stats, if you just look at how easy it is to play, if you just look at the price, You'll never have the full picture. We're going to look at all of it. It's relatively easy to play. Let's just say it that way. It is pretty easy to play. However, it's slow, which means it's easy to play, but it's hard to position, because you can't change your position very easily, which means you have to be good at knowing where to put it, which is not great. And for a vehicle of this kind of mobility, I mean, you can just get an E75. Yes, the E75 is slightly slower, have to mention that, but again, you don't have to pay for it. And with E75, you can then move on to the E100, where you have a very good tier 10 as well. With this thing, the only thing you move on is the clinical depression. So, and debt, probably. So, at this point, again, I don't think how many times I've already said it, because I think I say it every time. Crates are bad. Any tank that is released in crate, any new tank, in fact, is bad. Unless the ones that are free, that's good. Right? Because that's just how it is. That's how Wargaming handles this. Every release is horrible. It takes about a year for the tank to reach a price that is reasonable. Or even acceptable, for that matter. It's not even reasonable. It's just acceptable. So, don't get this thing. Don't buy the crates for it. Obviously. Never, ever buy any crates. I don't even know why it is legal. But it unfortunately is. So, you have 9 degrees of gun depression. At least. You have good accuracy. At least. So it can sort of hold its own. It's not an absolute turd of a vehicle. However, again, if you're going to sell it for 200 bucks, I'm going to critique it for 200 bucks. And for that, you can get a new phone. Or you can get this, which will give you, what, 3 battles? And they're like, wait a minute. I make more creds in tier 8, and I could have just played the E75 with the 111, 1.4, and would have had the same thing. So, if you're a fan of super heavies, it's not super heavy enough. And if you're a fan of heaviums, it's slow as shit. So yeah, it is an absolute fail. Once again, like every single crate release has always been. It completes another fail. Anyone that tells you otherwise is a clown. Don't listen to people that tell you to buy crates. Don't listen to people that tell you this is a good tank or anything of that, because not only the stats matter, the price matters as well. Don't buy it. God damn it. But anyway, don't buy it. Have a good day. See you for the next one.